What's up guys, ManontheMoon here with another video, and today I'm going to be doing a character build guide for Molly. I've had a lot of people saying they'd like to see one for her, and I've gotten her up to a fair, I've gotten her upgraded a fair bit on my main account, so figured, and now was the time. As usual, I'm going to be going over the skills I upgraded and why. I'm going to be going over the weapons I use on her in the different teams I have her in, and I'm going to be going over the mod setups I used. So I hope you enjoy. But before we get to the video, I would like to remind you guys to like and subscribe for more content. Okay, so as far as her skills go, we're fortunate. There are no upgrades required on either her Adrenaline Rush or Signature Move. It's all just based on what grade she is. I would say level or grade LB2 is probably where you really want to be to have her like really usable. On my main, I only have her LB1, and I did use her during Blitz, but I was really wishing that cooldown was one turn less. Now, as far as Molly's passives, I upgraded pretty much everything, and I maxed out pretty much everything. The only thing I didn't actually upgrade was Spirit 1 and 2, and the reason for that is outside of patch up 1 and 2 at the start of each turn, it ends up being what, 40%? Yeah, start of each turn, 40% chance to heal a teammate for 50% of their max HP. That's the only actual healing she has on her kit. You could potentially throw a fast heal weapon on there, but to say 20% of that healing goes as bonus, it's just, I tested it out a bit. The bonus healing itself really isn't just, it's just not that much. It's not worth the upgrades. It's not worth the military supplies or the trainers, in my opinion. So I left that one unleveled, the Spirit 1 and 2 unleveled, but everything else is just really good. I mean, even the patch up 1 and 2 itself, 40% chance to heal a teammate for 50% of their max HP. That's pretty good. It's just not good enough to like upgrade Spirit, and like that's double layered. Like, it has to proc, and then on top of it, even if it does proc, it's just not that much bonus HP itself. So I skipped on that one. Now moving on to the mods. This time I'm actually going to do something different. Normally I just show you the setup I'm currently using on my main, or I show you what's just pretty much in my mind the best overall setup, mod setup for a character. In Molly's case though, I honestly think there's a lot of different ways that you can go with her, whether you want to do an offensive build, a defensive build, or kind of a hybrid build. So I'm going to show you all three of them. The first one here is, obviously, it's my defensive build. I went defense set, defense mod, defense first strong, and defense first alert with a stun resist and reflect mod. So the reason I doubled down on defense instead of going like HP on defense is because I figured I'll just cover that difference that I'm boosting myself with my defense with mods, and I'll boost my HP with the weapon. I have a bunch of different HP based weapons, so I figure I'll just boost those stats with the weapon and boost the defense with the mods. It's kind of how I've always done that. As far as the defense first alert, Kenny, point blank period, Kenny. And then defense first strong is just kind of obvious because she's fast. Reflect, again, obvious. She really doesn't have the best defensive stats to start with. She really is more of an attacking character by build. So the Reflect is good because she is still going to get hit pretty hard if she's focused, especially by, a lot of these newer tunes can just, that first turn Sig is just nasty. So she could get a Reflect kill off turn 1 just because of that. And the reason I went stun resist in particular is because of the fact that she's Guardian. If she's taunted, she can still give Guardian Shields. If she's confused, she can still give Guardian Shields. If she's neutralized, still give Guardian Shields. The only time she can't do that is if she's just not attacking, which, the only thing that's actually going to stop her from attacking is stun. So normally, like more times than not, just on Guardian Shields, I will put stun resist. I mean, I might double down on the resist mods on some of them, but almost always they're gonna have a stun resist. All right, so for the offensive build, this is what I've got at the moment. Just a real glass cannon build. Crit set everywhere. Pretty big attack on crit mod. Attack versus tough, just because she's guaranteed to be going on those teams that are versus Priya. So there's just no reason. I mean, even though she already has, trade advantage, if she's going to be going against all tough teams, there's no reason not to double down on it. Just do extra damage, attack versus alert, because I have a fast alert attack team that I use against Pamela defenses, so attack versus alert there. Big crit damage multiplier, and then same as last time, same with the defensive build, all my builds, gotta have stun resist, because if she's not attacking, she's not giving Guardian Shields, and if she's not giving Guardian Shields, I mean, that's a big part of her kit, the protection. So yeah, I mean, it's very simple, but it is effective because, she is an attacking character. Her stat balance is leaning towards attack anyway, so she can do a good bit of damage if she's modded out, like, to hit really hard. It's simple, but it works well. Alright, and finally, we have the build that is my all-around build, and it's also the build that I actually just switched to my live region, so this is actually how I do have my Molly set up. As you can see, this one's only LB1. This is my Molly, and I modded her this way because I'm going to be using her on attack and defense. And when it comes down to it, when it comes down to it, I don't want her to be modded out specifically for either. I went with crit set because on defense, I still want her to do a fair amount of damage. Like, I want her to be a silent killer. And 70% crit damage bonus on the set bonus. I mean, that's pretty big. Like that's a big bonus compared to the set bonus for defense or HP or attack. I feel like you get a lot more crit damage percentage out of the set bonus. I don't need the auxiliary mod to be a crit damage mod specifically, just because I'm getting so much from the set. Reflect mod, because there again, she's gonna take hits on defense. Like, if she's targeted turn 1, she's probably gonna die turn 1, but she can get a kill with the reflect. Defense versus alert, just there again, Kenny's everywhere. I'm just kind of playing anti-Kenny Doesn't work very well because he hits so hard, but I'm trying. HP and defense mods specifically, just there again, I am trying to tank her out for defense. But also, if you look at the percentages, I mean, there again, this is my live region, 21.1 and 20%, HP, and then 20% defense. I guarantee you have some really high percentage defense, and unless you're one of those people that has just never upgraded defense and HP on attack and crit. I know I have. I'll show you over here. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 HP mods on crit that I've leveled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on defense on crit that I've leveled. And I don't use any of them hardly. Like, you very rarely are going to use these defensive mods on a crit set, so you're pretty much guaranteed to have some good ones that are just unused. Same with the defense verse alert, 52.5. That's a pretty good defense verse mod. Same with the reflect, 52.5. That's a pretty good percentage on that. And it's because I'm not using those defensive mods on crit set on other characters unless it's like a screw set bonus on this. I just need this mod to be good. But in this case, it actually allows me to do what I want plus get the most out of those mods. So, and then obviously stun resist, because for the same reason as before, you want her giving guardian shields. I mean, yes, she's a revive, so you want her reviving, but if you throw a guardian on defense and they're not throwing up shields, it's kind of like, man, that's a whole slot wasted, and that's a whole specialist wasted. But yeah, so those are the 3 different setups I use, or I suggest. This is the setup I'm currently using on my main. But if you want it to lean more towards attack or defense, those are the other 2 setups I would use. Alright, and finally, we move on to the weapons. Now, this one I actually really... I've been testing a bunch of different weapons out on her. I've always liked melee characters more, so my weapons on fast and strong characters are just better. First one we got here, Beta's Robust Crowbar, 45% HP, very large bonus to AP when attacking, impenetrable defense, and fast healing. It's just, as I said earlier in the video, when I was going over the mods, and I was going over the defensive set mods, I was saying I leaned into defense on defense because I would just boost the HP with a weapon. This would be that weapon. I will say, if you don't have a good HP weapon, you could do the exact opposite. Go HP set on the mods, HP mod, and raise the defense with a defense weapon. That's perfectly viable as well. It'll end up about the same as far as the stats go. Next up, Destructive Tactical Knife. 45% attack, huge bonus to AP when attacking, impenetrable defense, and crit expert. Turn this character's base crit chance into 100%. This is actually a defensive weapon. I mean, I know it doesn't really look like it with it having attack stat and crit expert, but I built this to be more for... This is the weapon I'm thinking about using on my main team, like my Molly, but on my defense teams, because I've got her set up for crit with the defense and HP mods. I raise her attack with the weapon, and if she doesn't get focused turn 1, she's gonna hit really hard because of the crit set and crit expert on the weapon. It kind of just turns her into that dark horse killer, she's just, I really just want her to take people by surprise, even if it doesn't, like, you're gonna realize it's a trick that's only gonna work once, but in a, over the course of a war weekend, it's not working once. It's working once against everybody, And if I change my name during war and people just don't realize it's the same team, I mean, it very well could work more than once against the same person. It just won't happen. They'll get back to your camp and be like, okay, I got to get that Molly first. But I mean, any extra time that you're left alive, like I'm just trying stuff out, honestly. It might not work. It might work. I don't know. I'm also testing out this weapon here on my main defense. I really haven't decided which one she's going to hold. It's essentially the same exact weapon, except, it's the defensive version, 45% defense, huge bonus to AP when attacking, impenetrable defense, and crit expert. I haven't decided which way I'm going to go. I'll probably swap back and forth and see how hard she will actually hit, or like how much damage she can actually take. I still have more testing to do. I just dueling my own defense, dozens of times to test out different weapons. It gets a bit tiresome, so I haven't finished it yet. All right, next up, y'all know me. It wouldn't be a fast character review without me fully admitting that I have played around with them with the diamond knife. As you can see, I've actually played around with her with 2 different diamond knives. They are both the same, except for the 4th slot. 45% attack, huge bonus to AP when attacking. Impair when attacking, a better chance to impair the enemy for 3 turns. And then this top one has crit expert, and this one down here has 1535. This weapon is actually really good on her for the simple fact that she does 4 attacks. You're pretty much guaranteed, I'm not going to say guaranteed, but like better chance equals about 35%, and with 4 attacks at 35%, it should proc at least once. And since she's not necessarily like my main damage dealer, it's not like, oh, well, I would rather have Molly getting kills. Obviously, I would rather have her getting kills, but I'm not expecting them from her as much, just because that's not what she's there for. She's there to do a fair amount of damage, protect me with guardian shields, and be a safety net with the revives. Like, that's her job in my teams, at least in my attack teams. Alright, and then finally, we've got just your basic bonus attack weapon, destructive tactical knife, 45% attack, huge bonus to AP when attacking. Bonus attack plus 45% attack when attacking enemies of more than 50% HP, and 1535. It's worth noting that this isn't actually the best weapon to put that 3rd and 4th slot on. If you're just going for like a hard-hitting weapon, I would go for the Jesus Blade it starts with 30% attack and very large bonus to AP when attacking. That being said, I did not have one when I decided to make this weapon, so I just used this one and sacrificed the 5% and got a little bit more AP. I would say this is one of those weapons that everyone should have, whether it's this weapon or the Jesus Blade or whatever, but everyone should have at least one of these bonus attack weapons with 1535 for every single trait. I use this this is actually the weapon I've been using on Molly on my main attack team over Blitz. And it was just because I was only using 2 fast characters, and Lydia was the other one, and she has the bonus attack on her base weapon, so I was just going for all-out damage, just testing it out live. I really do kind of like the diamond knife more for her personally, but I haven't tested that in war yet, so I can't say for sure. But I am honestly leaning towards probably the diamond knife with 1535 right here is probably the one I'm leaning towards. And that's definitely going to be the one I test out next war, so. those are the mass amount of weapons that I use on, or have tested on Molly. I mean, there's what, 6 of them here. And I don't expect most people would have a lot of these, honestly. Like, a lot of my fast weapons are very niche. These impenetrable defense, crit expert weapons. I don't really expect you guys to have that. Diamond knife with crit expert. I don't really expect people to have that. You can make the diamond knife with 1535 fairly easily. Same with the tactical. I mean, I would hope people would have the absolute, the impenetrable defense, fast healing, on HP or defensive weapon. But I know a lot of people just still don't. So, maybe if you don't have one of those impenetrable defense, fast heal weapons, grab the one from the upcoming Mythic market and just build on that. That's a decent base. Alright guys, well, that was my character build guide for Molly. I know it was a bit of a long one. I went over a lot of different things, and it's just because you can really build her so many different ways. And rather than just showing you one of them, I figured, screw it, I'll show all of it. There's no reason not to, especially considering she's an event character and everyone's going to have her to some extent. Should, at least. At a minimum, you should probably be able to... Well, I mean, at a minimum, you should be able to get her to grade 5. I would say it won't take a whole lot of luck to get her to LB1. And that's probably where you would want her at a minimum to start using her. But yeah. That's all I got for this video today. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you have her to so far? What level is she at? What grade is she at? Are you using her? Have you played with her yet? Have you tested her out? I'm having fun with her personally. Like, I was having fun with her in war. I was having fun with her testing her, and I'm happy. Like, I'm actually happy we got this as an event character. So, leave your thoughts down below in the comments, and remember guys, it is a game, so try and have fun. This is going to be your friendly neighborhood man on the moon, signing off. Later guys.